Welcome back to another episode of Wryne's Wasteland Camp Review / Dumpster Fires of the Commonwealth. I'm going to try and cover 3 camps real quick. I'm still recording everything in rapid succession on the same day because my house is quiet at the moment and my wife and child are asleep. So we're going to go over here to Gedson's camp and check it out real quick. They're already here. They may still be here whenever I arrive, or the camp may totally disappear by the time I get there, which may cause the game to crash. That is the main problem that I have with Fallout 76. It lacks a certain level of stability whenever things suddenly disappear from it. And I don't know if my coming to the camp causes it to disappear, or if the fact that the camp was going to disappear to begin with causes it to be unstable. Yeah, kind of weird. Alright, so we're going to look around here. Right here is their vendor. We'll take a quick pick in here and see if there's anything good. Maybe not. It's Gedson's camp. They've used 2 medallions to get this leveled out. Walkway right here, going inside. Doors open. Nice little kitchenette. You've got a balcony over here that overlooks their water purifiers, and they've built out a walkway to make collecting it easier. They do have a bathroom. A power room. Looks like a bedroom. And there's a few merges going on. They even have their vault kind of hidden to where it looks like it's incorporated into the design of the build. These are my favorite things out of the newer stuff that we've gotten, by the way, the giant crystals. I love those things. Anyway, so I rate camps on a scale of 1 to 10. If you have a bathroom, I automatically give you a point. If you have a prefab, I automatically give you 2 points. If I go through your build and I look at it and I think it's cool, or I think that it has merit, or I think that it has potential, or you've done a hell of a job decorating it and building it, I will give you extra points. In this case, this place looks like it's being built by someone and is not completely finished at the moment. I mean, they have glitches going on, like glitching the lantern down into the bottom of the stove, and then glitching the stove down into the top of the cabinet here, and the same, which is actually a desk, and then glitching the cooking implement on top of it into it to make it look right. And then you've got your shelves, which are all lined up right. And they tried to fake a range hood by putting that cabinet over top of it, having it butt up directly to the stove top. I mean, they have done a lot of stuff to try and make this, look halfway decent, and they're in the process, it looks like, of building it still. They have power lines that are not connected yet, and things that are not connected altogether. I'm going to give this one a 4. Actually, I'm going to give it a 5 because it has a lot of potential, and they're really actively trying to do something cool with it. Like, I like the fact that they built this little platform here out of desks and tables, and built their own little stairs going up to it out of these floating conduits. I mean, they're actively working on it. It's not finished by any means. You can tell when you look at it. They're still playing around with it to try and get it the way they want it. But not a bad little warehouse. Decent location. That is a junk node right there if you need one. There's several of them up and down the river and throughout the areas. Not a bad little location at all. Decent build. My wife builds here a lot whenever she used to play. She doesn't anymore. Quantum SQ1. Believe it or not, what killed my wife in this game was whenever the settlers came in, she hated them. All of them. Because they screwed up areas that she used to build in. So they screwed up the spawn area locations that she would normally build her houses in. And then on top of that, they put these people in that would show up at your house periodically that she didn't want to see. What the? Okay. So you've got water purifiers. You've got the truck over there that's gathering cement. A vendor down here. Quantum SQ's camp. It's not a bad little camp. Their prices aren't bad for anything. I mean, their serum prices are actually a little low for most people. But like I said before, not bad at all. We've got an overly large amount of firearms down here. This is their work area up here. And this is their display area up here. They've been playing the game for a while. I like to show off some of the stuff they've got. They've got a vault to nowhere. And they've got the snow machine, which I think is funny. Once you get out of the range of it, it's gone, and you can just look at the camp for what it is. So I give camps a score on a scale of 1 to 10. I've said it a million times. I'll say it a million trillion more probably in the course of making these episodes. One of the points is based off of creativity. Actually, a lot of points are based off creativity and design. Most of this place's points are based off of what you see in front of it. It doesn't have the two things that are freebies that I give out, which are, if you use a prefab, I automatically give you 2 points, because I'm going to look and see how you decorated it to see if it's cool or not. And if you built a bathroom, I'll give you 1 point. And I'll let you have a bathroom point just for putting out an outhouse, or a chemical toilet, or whatever you want to call it. I'll give it to you for free. 1 point is nothing. 1 point is, well, it's 1 point. But in this case, looking at this camp, I'm going to go into photo mode here again because I'm a dumbass and show you this. I'm going to toggle the menu and I'm going to zoom out here a little bit. As you can see, they have resources that they're gathering, mainly water, which I get. You can resell water pretty easy to vendors. It's one of those things that's easily available to get rid of. They have a little bit of a farm back here. I don't know why you would bother with those 3 lower standard water purifiers unless you just happen to have them in your inventory and you were going to use them, because I would have went with one of the bigger ones based on volume if I was going to build something like this. This is essentially a floating camp. By that I mean that it is built to where everything above is resting off of one foundation and one stairwell. These are kind of old school camps. There's a couple different ways to build them. One of the ways that I used to build them were set up for battle camps. Whenever you would go take on the queen or something by yourself and you were on a private server and you didn't want somebody else to be, involved, or you didn't have a lot of friends, so you were trying to hedge your bets and give yourself the best options that you had. Now, the benefit to using the camera that I am using versus using the actual camp camera is that I don't have to see the snow. I can just look at what's here. So there is that. It's something to consider if you build and play on PC. Anyway, so this camp, I'm just going to give it a 3. It is what it is. There's nothing special about it. Alright, last camp is going to be this one over here, which is Glocky Toast Camp. And no, I do not know who this person is, although it is a name that I would probably use myself if I were so inclined to do so. Man, wait in this game. Now, the area that they're in, this should be a dual area for resource gathering. You should be able to access either a junk or a radiation node. and a possibly wood node if it's the location I'm thinking of, because it's the junkyard. Yeah, it's the junkyard. So over here's the wood. You can see you can throw down a thing and harvest it all you want. Looks like they have put in their power here and then tripped a thing to break it. It's a way to hide your power, by the way. You put it in, then break the power somehow. So let's check their vendor. This is Glocky Toast Camp. We'll just see if they've got anything particularly that screams you must have it. Odds are against it. I found too much stuff lately. See, now this is what I find kind of amusing. These are the base price. These are a modified price. Same stuff. They just haven't bothered to go back in and redo it in their vendor. And these things are way overpriced. I usually set these things for like 15 to 20 caps on my thing because I just want to get rid of the weight. And I have a bloody blue billion of them, and they're easy to get. But if you were going to do a run on a bunch of them, you'd want as many of them as you could handle. Now, camp-wise, I mean, you basically have a house here. Which is kind of funny because you have, this is pretty much their kitchen. This is pretty much their living room. It's like it was set up to be like an old hotel with multiple rooms, but it didn't actually get built that way, and it's not quite. Either that or whoever's building it hasn't quite got it finished yet. Now, one of the things I think is kind of cool is they do have a bunch of plants and smaller items just kind of stored up here like they're, you know, using it as an attic space. You see it in here real easy. The stairs right here where it would normally be. It's like it had a stairwell here that got broken out. And this one over here is just, you know, it is what it is. So again, I rate camps based on, you know, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give them 1 point because they put out a shower, which I'll go ahead and recognize that that is not a complete bathroom, but it is, neither is an outhouse technically. Build quality really isn't there in this. It's not horrible, but it's not good either. It's just kind of average. It's basically a resource gathering camp, but because that generator's busted, they can't really get their resources because that's one thing Bethesda did fix. Where your camp itself may wind up keeping its power if you set it up properly. The resource generators don't always. So, there is that. So, this wall, by the way, is pretty much all here. They didn't have to put any of it in. There's places they could add to it if they wanted to. Like this over here could be filled in. There's a little bit of radiation. They did glitch these two things together to show that they know how that works. But again, it's not, I mean, it's not a great camp. They didn't really do much. They're not really showing you any great talent or understanding of what they're doing. They are building in an aesthetic location, and they are building junky, so it does look like it kind of fits in to a certain degree. But I'm only going to give it a 3 because it only fits in to a certain degree, and I understand what's here because this is one of the locations that I used to build at. Damn, that hurt. Still got that cough coming back every once in a while. Besides, there's a much better camp right down here that I didn't really want to show you, but I'm going to show you anyway. I think it's funny because, you know, it's here. If you didn't know this was here, this is here normally. This is a Blue Ridge caravan camp. This is not a location camp that, like, you know, somebody put in. But the thing is, like, they have a bathroom, settlers, beds, interconnected cabins, kitchens, storage. See what I mean? I mean, even like this simple stuff, like putting down, all of this stuff is stuff that you can replicate in your own camps pretty easily, is what I'm saying. Not identically, because we don't have access to these stairs, which I wish we did, but there's a lot of stuff here that can be replicated easily by players. Placement of objects, general design choices, that kind of stuff. When you run around in the Wasteland, just take a look at some of the structures that Bethesda has added in to make the game a little more filled out. You'll find some stuff that you like, maybe some stuff you didn't even know was there. There's this camp here. There's another one up on the ridge up there that is a raider camp that's right in this location up here. I think it's back over here, actually. But, yeah, I mean, or it's there. It's right there. My mistake. So, keep that in mind. Check them out whenever you get a chance. Look around, see what you can find. One of the things that I wish Bethesda would have done, and this is going to sound kind of antsy, is, you know how we've got the traveling merchants that go around to these pre-existing locations, like the pre-existing camps and things like that. I kind of wish Bethesda would have made it so that the traveling merchants would just have a traveling merchant route that they would follow during like a course of a week, kind of like Minerva, where you'd have one that starts off at like Flatwoods and goes down this road, goes up this way, goes into the Mothman place, and whenever it's there, they have a booth that they set up inside the Mothman area, and the people there are not hostile to you during the time that they're there because of dealing with the merchant. And then they come back up this way and go all the way up here and have them, you know, set up somewhere along here or up here, and then have them come back down the road and have like all these little hostile locations that at the time the merchant is there, well, they're not hostile because they're brokering deals and making things happen, so to speak, so they can't afford to be hostile. But like the next day, the week rolls around, that merchant's moved on to a new location, and, well, those people are crazy as hell again. I think it would be fun. It'd be hard to track. Well, it'd be hard to track at first. Once you get the cycle down, it'd be pretty easy. But I think it would be enjoyable. It'd be an added feature to the game if they did something like that. And it's something that they don't even have to do in this area. They could do it in the new area that they're planning on opening up, just to make the merchants a little different and to make the traveling in the area a little different. Because we do have an expansion coming out, and I'm not talking about the Atlantic City stuff. They announced a real expansion in their last newsletter that is supposed to go into the south, down into this area of Virginia, and deal with areas like where the parks, where a couple parks are, and some things down this way. Not sure how we're going to get there yet, but from the pictures that I've seen, the area should be pretty big. So you should be able to place a camp and camp there for a while if you want to. It's kind of cool. So, anyway, have fun. Enjoy the game. If I have gone to your camp and you want me to come check it out later on when it's done, if it's not finished yet, send me a PM. I will happily do so, or make a comment on this. If you want me to come look at your camp, feel free. I will do so, and I will try and give you the best constructive criticism that I can to help you build something cool. And I can do that on PC or PlayStation. Although on PlayStation, I'm not that high a level, and you'll have to friend me there. So it is what it is, but you guys have fun, And if you like this, please subscribe. And I'll try and keep them as entertaining as I can.